I want to begin by stating that this is not an authentic Thai recipe. There's no curry paste being used, and certainly no bottled or packaged mixes, which I would never tell you to use anyway. This is based on a very popular Thai dish in a Los Angeles restaurant that's been heavily influenced by Chinese cuisine. However, having said that, it's truly delicious, and it hits all four of the critical notes of Thai cooking, namely sweet, sour, spicy, and salty. I'm also showing you how to make this using duck confit, as explained in the text at the start of this video. If you are going to use duck legs for this, they need to be made into confit so that they'll be tender in the final recipe, and you do this pretty much the same as any other confit. You use crushed garlic, coarse salt, in this case brown white pepper works well. You mix them together, coat the duck quarters, let them sit in the refrigerator for a day or two, take them out, brush off the salt, and then you confit them in either duck fat or oil. It's a very straightforward process. Okay, it's all in there, and it goes into the refrigerator. Yeah, just as with the other confit duck recipe, it's on my channel. The next morning you're gonna brush off the salt with a pastry brush and transfer them to the dish that they're gonna be confit in. Don't wash them. Don't run them under water. Just hit them with a brush. Okay, and they're assembled. Now hopefully you've got a big old jar of duck fat you've been saving. As I explained in my other video, this keeps indefinitely. And just make sure that the duck pieces are all beneath the surface, the lid on, and then follow the cooking directions on the next page here. And after the duck has been confit and you've cooled it down, carefully lift it out to a bowl and drain some of this oil off. Now we have to make the sauce essentially that's going to go in there. So we have 400 grams of, this is the duck stock, but it's not the one that was reduced a second time. This is just straight strained, not the one that was turned into the jelly. 150 pineapple juice, 90 sugar, 60 apple cider vinegar. Last but not least, we're going to add some salt. And reduce it like this. Keep it at a good simmer. Don't have it at a rolling boil, as I've said many times before in my videos. You have things at a rolling boil, you're just going to blow off all the flavors. Keep it at a slow simmer, be patient. And finally, this duck sauce and pineapple is reduced. I'm going to fish the piece of ginger out of there. We don't need that anymore. And I'm going to add just a little bit of soy sauce, maybe a tablespoon of soy sauce to that. And we're going to leave this sitting warm on the side of the stove. And we'll add this at the right time. Now we begin the actual cooking. While this is going on, you can get your other ingredients ready. I've got the onion. Now when I cut these up, I remove the cores from the onions. So these are coreless and well peeled. That will be important because the cores will not cook real well. Now I get the green chilies. How hot you want this will be a matter of whether you seed or scrape them. This dish is really not supposed to be super hot. So I'm going to go ahead and slice these and fairly well scrape them out, but you know, if you like it super hot, then you can just chop them up and use them as is, but it will be very hot that way. I've assembled a small army of ingredients here. We have the cilantro for the end, the onions as I explained, the duck meat that came off of the confit duck legs, the 150 grams of pineapple, 45 grams of red bell pepper, the 3 green chilies that I scraped most of the seeds out of, but not all, half a teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes, 22 grams of garlic, about 3/4 of an ounce, then 15 grams of ginger, 30 grams of cashews, the half lime. The sauce is on the stove, and now we're going to deal with the lemongrass. The lemongrass, you just want to kind of give it some bashes like this with the back of the knife. You just want to kind of liberate it, liberate the oils inside of it. That's all you need to do with it. And we begin heating the pan and adding peanut oil. This is absolutely the best oil to use for this. You can use other vegetable oil, but the peanuts in the peanut oil is actually part of the taste. So we'll give this just a minute here to get warm. And when you can smell the aroma of the peanuts, it's ready. It's not hot. We're going to cook these onions slowly at first, and also the lemongrass. We're going to add this. And if you want to rely on time, you can set a timer now. I've got the heat on medium-high, 7 out of 1 to 10. After about 2 minutes, you should hear them starting to sizzle. We're not going to add the other ingredients for a little bit, though. We want these onions to cook for a little bit, because they really need to be cooked through more than the other ingredients. It's been 5 minutes now by the clock on this heat. And now I'm going to add the garlic. By the way, I chopped this garlic up. I did not mince it. I certainly did not crush it. You want some pieces in here because you don't want it to burn. If you cut the pieces too small, they will burn. The ginger, the green chili, and the red chili flakes. And it's been another about 2.5 minutes. Now I'm going to add those nuts. Really want to get these nuts toasted well, so we want to make sure that we add these before watery ingredients go in, or they won't really toast. This is also a point where you want to make sure that you're stirring it. Don't let that garlic burn. It's in small pieces. The pan is hot. Keep an eye on it. It's been just over another minute now. Now I'm going to add the red bell pepper. This will add a little bit of moisture, bring down the temperature just a little bit. Keep this going. It's been another minute and a half. You really got to watch it, make sure nothing's sticking to the bottom and it's not burning. Very important, of course. Now I'm going to add the duck in. Those are some good duck legs. They got a lot of meat off of it. It's not always this much. There's a big fat duck. I also keep saying duck legs, really they're duck quarters, because it's the leg and the thigh put together there. Okay, this is just like 30 seconds later. I'm going to add the pineapple. Not even 30 seconds. We're getting really close now. Let's stir this together for about another minute here. I'm going to actually lower the heat down. It's put on 7. I'm going to go down just a little bit to 6. I want these flavors to integrate a little bit here. We don't want anything to burn. Okay, just to make you aware, it's been 12 minutes now since I first started counting the time. Now I'm going to add a little bit of lime juice. I might need to add more of that later. That sauce, the reduction of the duck, pineapple, sugar, the soy sauce in there, all that. Make sure you get it all in there, because this is your flavor right here. This is also liquidy enough that you can deglaze the bottom of the pan with it. And now, the nampla, or fish-type fish sauce. Like a teaspoon of it. Don't go crazy. It's not a fish dish even. It's just to add some saltiness and some earthiness to this. It's a little bit like anchovies are used in Italian cooking. Okay, this is very, very nearly done. Now I'm going to stir in cilantro, coriander leaf, and we might need to taste it and see if it needs anything else. And we're going to remove that lemongrass from the pot before we actually serve it up. It looks like it's about done. I'm going to kill the heat and just kind of let those flavors marry in there together for just a couple of minutes. If you like my videos, look for my cookbook, now available through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and other internet bookseller sites. Also look for my cocktail book, Cocktails of the South Pacific and Beyond, Advanced Mixology, available through Amazon online.